This morning we're at the Van Nuys Airport. LA County is introducing the Super Scoopers to fight fires this summer. And there's a media event here to introduce the press to all these planes. These planes come down from Quebec on a lease agreement with LA County and provide great service to scooping up water, dumping it on fires. We have a perfect day, temperature in the 70s, sun shiny, no wind so far, and all of these are parked out here at the Van Nuys Airport. A lot of stuff packed inside one of these helicopters, stretchers, packs. Everything they need to rescue someone. Ask you for your name, sir, from Quebec.
Yeah, my name is Stéphane Monette. I'm actually the chief pilot of the Super Scoopers here. I've been flying these Super Scoopers for the last 22 years now.
Really?
So this is kind of my job, my way of living, and my passion as well. Every pilot knows that. I'm passionate about our work.
Right, and tell me about how much does one of these beautiful machines cost?
Yes, they're about $35 million each. These are formerly built by Canadair at first, and Bombardier, and now Viking is the official company that continues to make them.
I see. And what's their life?
Yeah,
roughly.
They might stay for forever, I would say, as long as we can find some parts. These aircraft have been built in the 90s, and now they could be flying another 30 years easily. They are well maintained.
For the special.
Yeah, we have a team that will maintain these aircraft all winter long. It means when they're not required for operations, all the technicians and mechanics, they would
surely
take them apart and renew all the parts that need to be renewed, and repair everything they need to repair.
And you use them in Quebec to fight fires?
Of course. Our season is quite different from here, though. Our season might start at the middle of April all the way to the end of August, with small operation times I would take on in September and a little in October. So that's why we can come in here during September and even the end of August and September and the fire season here, which is quite not the same than our fire season in Quebec.
And you usually stay, I think, 3 months or 4 months?
Normally we're here 3 months, but this might extend to up to 4 months, even 5 months if the season requires it here. But sometimes the rain comes and then we're no longer needed here. So then we fly back home, and these aircraft they go to maintenance for the next fire season in Quebec.
I see.
And then we have 14 of these aircraft in Quebec, and we use all of them during our season. They're really more required there because the country is quite wide, and wildfires are part of our normal life over there, and there are lots of sparsely settled area where all these aircraft will operate.
Sure. Do you have any idea how long this program with Quebec and LA County has been going on for these planes?
Yeah, we started here first in '94, and ever since we came every year since '94 until now, and we always been available to help. And sometimes, at some point, we had to dispatch 2 other aircraft here. So at some point, the county wanted us to bring in 2 others, so we had 4. But most of the time, every season has been 2 aircraft coming here with all pilots and technicians. Gear to be able to make it work here.
And the pilots, how many pilots fly in a plane like this?
There are always 2 pilots on board and a ground crew team with 3 or 4 technicians. And we have available crews on the ground as well to make sure that if we can operate this aircraft, if there were major fires from sunset to sundown every day, if we had to do it for say 2, 3, 7 days or 10 days in a row, we have all the personnel to make it work.
And the fuel that it burns, it's a diesel fuel?
It's Jet A, same
jet
thing
fuel.
that any jet aircraft or any turbine engine aircraft.
I see. Well, we certainly thank you for bringing them down here, because several times fires have come near my house, and I'm so happy to see them up there flying. You know, it protects us. So
it's nice being here. It's nice to help all the organization here to help make the thing more safer for them.
Well, thank you for coming, and hope you have a bon voyage.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let me know when you're ready so I can hit record on my end as well.
Hi there, how are you?
All right, thank you. I'll call you when the press is over.
Good morning. Oh, yeah.
It's going to be...
Okay.
I'll tell you right now. It's going to be the firefighting aircraft season media.
Check.
Firefighting aircraft season media. Super stupid. Cool. Thank you.
Good morning. Greetings to everyone. Dignitaries, members of the media, uniformed firefighters. I'd like to welcome you all to the press event announcing the arrival of the CL-415 Super Scoopers from the government of Quebec. This marks the 26th year of this agreement here with the County of Los Angeles that brings this incredible firefighting asset to bear as an initial first attack on any brush fire that occurs inside the County of Los Angeles. We have a number of dignitaries and speakers this morning that would like to address you all, and I'd like to ask that you please hold your questions till after the presentations, and they will be available for individual interviews. First, I'd like to welcome up to the podium from the 5th District, Supervisor Kathryn Barger.
Well, thank you. This is our 26th year working with Quebec to lease these Super Scoopers, and I am truly honored to welcome you for your first press conference to do this, Consul General. But this is an exciting arrangement. This is an exciting opportunity for LA County. We lease these, and I know many people have asked why we do not purchase them. This is something that is not the only tool that we have in our toolbox as it relates to fighting fires. This will enhance our efforts during what we have determined is a high fire season in LA County. With increasingly dangerous fires and record-breaking heat in Southern California, fire safety is first and foremost on our minds. It is vital that we provide all the opportunities necessary and all the both on the ground and in the air fighting methods that are available. That is why we contract each year with Quebec for these super scoopers. Last year, as you know, we actually extended the contract, and I was very grateful to Quebec for letting us do so because we recognize that now fire season seems to be going year-round, not just during fire season. Anytime the Santa Ana winds blow, small fires can grow very quickly and become extremely dangerous, which is what we're seeing happening down in Marietta right now. The Board of Supervisors is proud of the fire department, and we are proud to give them the support with additional resources annually to supplement their own aerial firefighting fleet. And I emphasize to supplant the aerial. Year-round, we have just purchased 2 more Airhawks, or Firehawks, that will be coming online next year and will be available. We are immensely grateful to Quebec for this relationship, and I want to thank Chief Daryl Osby, who's been a leader in making sure that each year we are ready to move on this. And I want to thank the pilots who are standing back there for their dedication. They are experts and know how to do this in precision time, and we are grateful for you all coming each year to give us your time to help us ensure that the residents of LA County are safe. So with that, thank you very much.
Next at the podium, I'd like to invite LA County Fire Chief Daryl Osby.
Good morning. As mentioned, my name is Daryl Osby, Fire Chief of the Los Angeles County Fire Department. And we're here this morning to officially welcome back the CEO of 415 Super Scoopers from Quebec. And as Supervisor Barger said, this is the 26th year. So I would like to really thank Supervisor Barger for her amazing leadership along with the Board of Supervisors, who's my governing body, that allows us to allocate funds each year to bring these aircraft back to help augment our fighting capabilities as it relates to our well-in fire season. In addition to that, I would like to welcome Philippe Fanault from the government of Quebec, his first time here, to really help us welcome these super scoopers back. Also, in addition to that, we have some of the men and women behind me that put their lives on the line each and every day to protect the citizens here in the County of Los Angeles. So I would like to really acknowledge our firefighters, our suppression aides, our camp personnel, pilots, mechanics, everybody involved in relation to collectively and cooperatively working as a team to ensure that we're safe here in this community. As mentioned, we are at the peak of our fire season. After a long, dry summer, we feel the timing is right to bring the super scoopers in this time of the year as they're leased, because after a hot, dry summer, a lot of the fuel beds in this region are dry, and typically this time of the year, especially starting the end of September, we begin our Santa Ana wind events. And generally speaking, when we have wind-driven fires, those are the most catastrophic and most dangerous times of the year to fight wildland fires. As an example, last year when we had the Woolsey incident that began on November the 8th, which is really unprecedented when you think about the fact that we had fires in Southern California at the same time there were fires in Northern California, because typically fires in Northern California don't exist that time of the year. There's normally several inches of rain and several feet of snow. So at the height of the fire, when we had gusts up to 70 miles per hour, the only aircraft that were able to fly to assist our firefighters were the Sikorsky helicopters you see behind me and our Super Scoopers. And that really speaks to the men and women that operate these machineries and then their capability in ensuring that our property and our citizens are safe. To our citizens, I just want to emphasize that as it relates to the fire department, we cannot do this alone. We ask you to partner with us. As an example, I want to use the Woolsey fire again. We had over 50,000 homes at risk. At the height of the fire, we cannot put a fire engine at every single home. So I just want to re-emphasize the fact that you need to have proper brush clearance. You need to know what to do in advance of a fire. And if you're asked to evacuate, that you evacuate. If you don't know what to do, you can go to our website right now at lacountyfire.com and .org and look at the requirements in relation to preparedness and evacuation. Also be extremely vigilant in relation to that over 90% of wildland fires are human caused, just caused by humans. So if you live in a wildland fire area, to be extremely vigilant to ensure that you're not that person that's starting the fire. So in conclusion, once again, just want to thank everybody. Oh, one more last statement. It wasn't as prevalent last year, but we've had these challenges throughout the state of California of people flying drones around our aircraft. And our aircraft and drones cannot operate in the same airspace. If drones are flying in that airspace, we have to land that aircraft. So make sure that if you have a drone, don't fly it. If we do catch you, you could be arrested. You could be fined up to $25,000. But more important, is extremely dangerous to our pilots and our aircraft. So in conclusion, once again, be safe, and we're looking forward to a quiet fire season. And we don't get out of fire season until we get about 4 inches of rain. So pray for rain.
Next up, from the government of Quebec, spokesperson Philippe Denon.
Supervisor Barger, Chief Osby, commandant et membre d'équipage du service aérien du gouvernement du Québec, member crews, member of the media, good morning. This year we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the office of the Quebec government in Los Angeles. Since 1969, we have worked to grow economic, cultural, and environmental collaboration between California and Quebec. One of the great examples of this partnership is what brings us here this morning. Every year since 1994, Quebec has leased 2 of its CL-415 Super Scooper water tanker planes to the Los Angeles County to assist with preserving life and property during the most active month of forest fire season. Our government and our people of Quebec are very proud that the crew members are using a technology developed by one of our flagship company called Bombardier in order to provide critical support to the Los Angeles County Fire Department in battling dangerous, fast-moving fires. This year, the 2 Super Scooper that you can see here left Quebec on the 29th of August and arrived on the 30th of August, and they started to work and be on duty on the morning of September 1st. Along with the 8 pilots, the 4 maintenance technicians, the aircraft and crews were therefore ready to work and perform and support the effort that has been done. The Los Angeles County Fire Department coordinates the arrival of the Quebec crew and the aircraft, and we are very appreciative for that. Throughout the mission, all exchange between the Quebec and the Los Angeles team, including all the stakeholders involved, are carried out with great respect and mutual assistance, allowing everyone to contribute efficiently to the operation. Quebec crew now have more than 25 years of experience in California's fires and terrain. Our pilots are highly trained and able to perform two very challenging tasks that the Super Scooper were designed to execute. They collect water in front of the sea, go through small reservoir, navigate through strong winds, and get to the fire site to drop 1,600 gallons of water in every maneuvers, and doing it over and over again. This is how we help to provide firefighters. The unique collaboration leads both sides to share expertise and learn from each other about specifically on the fighting of fire in various terrain. It is a true example of how Canada and United States as neighbors can collaborate and help each other during crisis. As an example, over the last few years, our teams were actively involved in to contain damage in Wright Creek and Woolsey fires. In closing, I would like to echo Fire Chief and Supervisor Barger's instruction and ask the people of Los Angeles County to pay close attention to official announcement and obey evacuation order. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes our remarks here at the podium this morning, but I would like to invite all the members of the media to engage our speakers behind for any individual interviews that you may need. Thank you.
Ready?
Guys, everybody up here?
Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
for your attention to Acton, Aguadulce.
Okay.
We're
Fire
on the
Station 80, right?
right.
Okay.
Fire Station 80, and we're a
Okay.
long way from downtown.
Yes.
And you've always taken care of us and got people out there quickly, so we appreciate that.
Okay, well, we want to just really acknowledge the relationship we have with the citizens in Aguadulce, and I know that Fire Station 80 serves your community, so just want to maintain the partnership, and once again to remind our citizens that to be safe and vigilant in that area, that over 90% of fires are started by citizens.
Yeah.
Ensure you have proper brush clearance, and you know what to do in advance of an incident, and if we ask you to leave for your own good.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay.
Proved you wrong.
Get a picture with some of you
Yeah.
gentlemen with the supervisor?
Yeah, well, I'm going to do this right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Morning, Mrs. Let me start over again, please. Morning, Mrs. Supervisor. Thank you for your attention to this program. It benefits Acton, Aguadulce tremendously. And the people out there appreciate it. And Station 80 takes
Yep.
care of us.
Yep. You've got the best of the best, I'm telling you. Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, the goal, we hope we don't have to use them, but it does benefit the Acton Aguadulce area, because this is something that if God forbid we need to put them into play, they will be there. But I want everyone out in Acton Aguadulce to know that this is only one of many aerial support that we have. We have to my left the Firehawks, which we're going to get 2 more in a couple of months.
Oh, good.
And so we are ready. But I ask everyone out there, be vigilant. If you see something, say something. Be aware that if a fire, it's fire season, and if you're doing work out in your garden,
Yes.
sparks can ignite very quickly. So
Sure.
be cognizant of what you're doing. And if you have any questions, call LA County Fire. Go to your station. They are a great group of people, and they would love to help you out.
Sure. And I heard a rumor that LA County was going to buy Super Scoopers. Was that false rumor, false news?
Well, it's false news, and I'll tell you why. Because there's nothing to buy. They no longer make them. So this lease has been something that has been an ideal situation for us, because originally it was an ideal situation because of the cost associated with it.
Sure.
But as fire season now extends, I brought into motion last year to explore purchasing something similar to these, because they don't make them anymore, and looking at working with like Southern California and maybe looking at Northern California and working with the state.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, right now, we can no longer depend upon Northern California to send down resources because fire season is year-round.
Right.
So we are exploring other opportunities because this plane is no longer made. There is going to come a point where we're not going to be able to lease them because it's not going to be available. So we've got to prepare for that, and so I am working diligently on that. And I actually did it with Supervisor Kuehl, who, as you know, had such an incredible devastation in her district with the last fire, the Wilton fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank very much for your attention to Acton, Nava-Dulce.
We love Acton. I'm going to be out there next week.
Oh.
Yep, I am.
We'll look for you there.
I will be there. I will not. I'll be looking around and meeting people and talking to some individuals out there. I'm excited, actually.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Channel 7.
So we're here. We have the pleasure of interviewing Kathryn Barger's field rep and media person says is the smartest person here today. I don't know whether you admit to that, but could you give me your name, please?
Derek Alconis.
Okay. And sir, what's your part here in this air attack from the fire department?
So I'm responsible for the Air and Wildland Division, and so I'm an assistant fire chief with Los Angeles County Fire Department.
And where do these planes draw water from?
They draw water from any available, source. I mean, there's if it's a large body of water, they can take water from it. So, up in that upper area of Santa Clarita, of course, you got Castaic Lake, and that's a primary source, and they've got several different sites around the LA County region that they can draw from, and their response area is pretty fast. It's in the 4,000 square miles of LA County. They could also be contracted outside of the county to offer their services in other fires in other counties, mostly adjacent counties.
Sure.
But they've got all of those available bodies of water that they can draw from, and they're a pretty fast resource to get to the water and start dropping.
Isn't it too rough for them to take it out of the ocean?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure what exactly the criteria they use on, determining whether or not they can take the water. But if there's some significant swell or chop, then they probably wouldn't take water.
And 1,600 gallons, is that kind of what they haul?
Yes, sir. Yeah, 1,600 gallons, which, our helicopters are bringing 1,000 gallons, 700 to 1,000 gallons, depending on how much weight we have on the aircraft that day. And then also our Type 2s, which are Bell 412s, I mean, they're taking about 360 gallons. So this one with the CL 415s, coming with 1,600 gallons, I mean, you got a lot of water coming on the initial attack of a wildland fire in LA County, which is, nobody has more aircraft than we do on an initial attack wildland fire in the world, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
How many personnel do you have to maintain that?
To maintain these aircraft?
Well, to your division.
Oh, our division. We've got, we not only handle the air side, the aviation side, but we also handle the camp side, which are inmate camps and the paid camps, and, the wildland fire camps.
Sure.
So, when you add up everybody in terms of personnel that we have in the division, I mean, you're upwards to, counting all of the camp crew personnel. I mean, you're well over 600 people.
Wow, that's a big group of people to watch out for.
Yeah, well, when you have, the crews, I mean, you've got 12, 13 member crews and 4 to 5 crews in each camp.
Yeah.
They have supervision, and then they have either inmates or paid FSAs, we call them fire suppression aides.
Right.
So it starts to run up the number for sure.
Well, it sounds to me like you're earning your money. So keep up the good work, and thanks for your attention to Acton, Nava-Dulce.
Oh, thank you. And our message is to be safe out there. I mean, as we enter the dry season, and especially the winds start to show up, and that's why these aircraft are here, is we want to make sure that people have the appropriate defensible space on their properties, don't store any kind of combustible materials up near your house. Make sure you limb up your trees. Make sure it's nice and clear. I mean, that's the important message that we're sharing.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Good.
All right.
Yeah. Now, if you've got an email address, I'll send you a clip so you can critique yourself.
Okay.
Right?
My name is Martin Rumpf,
Yes.
and I am with the Los Angeles Fire Department's Auxiliary Communications Service.
Right.
What we do is we provide the backup communications for the fire department using ham radio that in case of a disaster or an emergency, and if we are activated by the fire department, we can provide information, or we can send information that the fire department needs to send if cell phones, computers, and other means of communication are not functioning.
Okay, and this is the city. This is LA City.
This is LA City.
Reaching all the way out to Acton and Agua where we are, if necessary.
Yes, we have through a process called Mesh, where we can connect with various repeaters that go from San Diego to Santa Barbara. And using those, we're able to communicate up and down the southern half of the state, moving information that's critical to the various agencies or various people that need to have that information. We are also on the Los Angeles Emergency Operations Center floor. We have a communications room on the floor, and we also have a pod in the Los Angeles Fire Department's dispatch center, also located in the same building. So again, we can be supportive to the fire department if they ask us to assist them.
Sure. Now, how difficult would it be for the average homeowner to set up ham radio? I know I can go find out, but since you're the expert.
Ham radio is very easy to get involved with. The testing and training can be done in a day for your basic license, which is a technician license, and you can purchase and get into a nice handheld radio for in and around $200 to $300. If you want what we call a base station, which is basically either something set up that doesn't leave your home or office, or a mobile station which you can transport and use battery, backup battery, solar, generator, whatever power source you want to add to that, you may get into something in and around $1,000 to be complete. From the technician license, you move into a general license, and it allows you to use more frequencies. And at the top level, you have an amateur extra license, which allows you to use all the frequencies.
I see. Well, thanks very much for your information. I'm astounded that in all the years I've been reporting the news, I haven't heard about your joining in with the county on fires and communication. I'm glad to know that.
Normally we don't join in with the county, only because we have to be activated by LA City and asked by LA City to be part of their operation. And under their mutual agreements, then we would be able to assist the county. Normally we're just the city, but we will work with any agency if we're asked through the fire department.
Sure. Well, thank you, Mr. Rupp, very much for the informative interview.
I encourage everybody to look into ham radio, if nothing else, just for fun and an alternative means for communication if your cell phone and your other means of communicating, internet and things like that, fail.
Sure. Now, you mentioned something about handheld. Does that mean on my cell phone I can get ham radio?
Actually, it would be something like this.
Oh, I see.
This is a ham radio.
Uh-huh.
And it gives me the capability of talking to other ham radio operators if I'm on their frequency.
Right.
It also allows me to communicate with the fire department. I can listen in on their frequencies. I cannot transmit on their frequencies.
Right.
I'm not permitted, but I can listen in and monitor their frequencies.
I got it.
I can also listen in to other agencies to find out what information is going on, and using the mesh capability with the computer,
sure,
I can use this and actually communicate up and down Southern California.
Oh, I see. I see. Good piece of information to have. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey Mike, can I get you for tour over here?
Okay. Our supervisor Kathryn had a tour, and now she's ready to come down.
They agreed to look. I'll be right back.
If you're curious about pre-check, when you go to fly an airplane, pre-check is a line that moves quicker than the average check-through. But first, you have to go to get your pre-check. And where we are today is down here at Ident-to-Go on Victory Boulevard in Burbank. It's in this nondescript shopping center way back in the corner. Here's the front door, 2436, and the hours are posted on the door, hours of operation, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., but it's not open. And the lady in the truck says they're closed for lunch between 11:30 and 12. So we'll wait and see. It looks like all of the information is here on the door. TSA pre. That's what we want.